Hey,
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Diana.
Yeah, okay. I think we can start the session now.
all right. So, hello everyone. How are you all? Just sharing my screen for you all.
So,
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
Good.
sir. Before we start on with the session, I hope we can proceed with the welcome address.
Sure.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Diana, the PR and Outreach Manager of AWS Cloud Club St. Joseph Group of Institutions. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to episode 4 of the AWS Cloud Club workshop. Today, we are honored to have with us a distinguished guest, Mr. Sourav Saha, a seasoned DevOps engineer and cloud administrator at QBA Worldwide. Mr. Saha's expertise is truly remarkable as he holds an immersive 14 Microsoft certifications, 2 AWS certifications, and 2 GCP certifications. His deep knowledge and hands on experience in cloud computing and DevOps makes him a leader in the field, and we are fortunate to have him here to share his insights with us today. In today's workshop, Mr. Saha will guide us through the intricacies of configuring CI/CD pipelines for applications hosted in the AWS environment. This is an invaluable opportunity for all of us to gain advanced skills in DevOps directly from a professional who has navigated and mastered the challenges of the ever evolving domain. On behalf of the AWS Cloud Club and the entire St. Joseph Group of institutions, I extend a warm welcome to you, Mr. Saha. We are eager to learn from your expertise and look forward to an engaging and insightful session. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming me. So, I hope like she has already introduced myself. So, let me just like introduce. and show my LinkedIn profile. If it is not with you, this is what my LinkedIn profile. You can get it through the entire thing over here. And yes, I'm like multi-cloud certified, I could say. And I started my, if I say about myself, or very brief, I started my DevOps career from this year only. That is from the February month. And from that point of turning point, before I was working as a system administrator and the desktop support engineer. So I came along a complete different background, you can say, with the DevOps. It's something very different. I took a great opportunity to learn these things. I took some certifications, and I always try to publish some of the free certification opportunity in my LinkedIn as well. So you can also follow me if it is possible. So let's get into the actual course, what we are actually trying to get in. So we will try to understand what is the CI/CD. Then we will understand what is the difference between the continuous delivery and the deployment. Then we will understand the other things which I have just mentioned over here. So I don't have any presentation to show you all because I'm not that good in these things. Okay. So I tried to just make the topics I could cover over here. And if you guys have any questions, always feel free to ask me. You can stop me anywhere if you have any doubts. Fine. So what's basically CI/CD and why it is being used, and why and before having the CI/CD, what is happening? Say suppose I am a developer, I am developing something. Okay. Say suppose if I'm working on a C, C++, anything, and I'm writing a code on my tool. What happens? I write something hash include studio.h, conio.h, then the what it says, the printing of the hello world and this. What we do after that? We click on the build, right? We execute the build process, the compile process, and it gives the .exe file, and that's what. Once we double click on the .exe file, the hello world prints on our CLI or the command. This is what is in the very basic. We can say the CI/CD is one part. What CI/CD is actually doing? CI/CD is actually doing the same thing what you are doing on a local. Fine. So say suppose I'm a developer. I am here. I have done something. I have done my all the codings. What we will do in general terms, we always try to upload to our SCM or the source control management. Either it can be your GitHub, either it can be your GitLab, either it can be Azure repo, it can be AWS code commit, it can be like anything, like whatever available on the market, it can be anything. So here I have used GitHub. All right. But after that, if I am pushing anything to the GitHub, fine. But I will push the raw code. I will not build anything. Fine. Mean I will not compile anything on the system. Then GitHub will take my code and informs to the Jenkins that here we have got a code or there is some change. Kindly build the code. So Jenkins will see what configuration I have written, and according to that, it will build the code. And then whatever the destination I have put in, like if it is EC2, if it is AWS, or if it is S3, anything, so it will just try to push there. And then you will get the website if it is a website. Fine. This is the very basics of CI/CD. I hope it is very clear to you all. Or if you have any doubts, so feel free to ask me. All right. So moving ahead, what is the difference between the continuous delivery and the continuous deploy? Continuous delivery is something whenever we are pushing to the code, okay, and it is being deployed, correct? And if it is suppose like we want, no, don't deploy directly to the production. I want to review it before you deploy to the production, because if you are like serving anything on the production, it might give a fatal error. So if we want to hold that artifact to directly generate or to deploy in the production server or wherever you want, so we will, if there is a manual process of the delivery, so we will say it as a continuous delivery. And if we are very sure that there is no issue. I have checked it very in my local, everything is perfect, or I have checked in my UAT server or in my staging server, anything. If everything's well went, so I will go with continuous deployment. So that will be directly deploying to the server. There will be no manual, you can say like integration or something. There is nothing. Fine. So this is the difference between the continuous delivery and the continuous deployment. But in my case, I will use the continuous deployment. Perfect. Coming back to the another chapter, that is the what is agent, SCM, build tools, and the CI and the deployment and the monitor and these things. So what is agent basically? Agent is nothing but where you are going to use the pipeline, mean where you are going to build your source code. Normally what happens that Jenkins have two different servers. One is the master server, one is the slave server, you can say, or you can say the agent server. The master server will have the entire Jenkins, and the slave or the agent server, you can say, where you want to use your pipeline. Like when you are like initializing a pipeline, the build process will be having on the that server, that is an agent system. So that is what the agent, you can say, or the slave, you can say also. Fine. Coming to the SCM, SCM is nothing but source code management or source control management is something that is basically where we put all our code. It's a repository. It's like a GitHub, right? If I show you my GitHub, so I will be using this. So this is my GitHub, correct? So whatever things I have done total 8 commits. So you will get all the details over here. That I have added these commits, these are the things I have done. So you will get everything from here. So why we use this SCM? Because we have a complete understanding. We can revert anything if we want to revert. We can have lot many things over here. So this is why we use SCM. Fine. Coming to the build tools is such that if I am using the node, I will use npm or the node.js. If I'm using suppose Java, so I will use Maven. If I'm using the Java as well, so there's a Gradle as well. If it is .NET, so we can use the that we says the .NET having a I cannot call the name. Starts with N, I believe. So it's not coming in my head. Sorry. So these are the build tools basically being used. Okay. Then what CI? CI is basically where you integrate all the things during a build. During a build, if you want to do some unit test, you can do that. If you want to have some smoke test, you can do that. If you want to have some like code quality check, you can do that. So these are the things you can do on the CI. CI is nothing but the continuous integration. Right? And the deployment is you can say the release one, your release pipeline. When your CI is done, you get an artifact. Artifact is nothing but you can say if it is a C++, so you get the .exe. So that .exe file or the other build files after what is coming, you want to deploy that on the server. So that's complete process is the deployment. In between, there is some like approval process comes up in enterprise. So some people will have some approval in process. They will approve that and everything, and then the monitor. There will be some monitoring tools like the Grafana, the Zabbix is there, then Prometheus is there. There's so many monitoring tools here there. So you can monitor the entire pipeline, that whether my pipelines is failing or not, whether my pipelines is working or not. Everything you can monitor. Even you can also monitor after the deployment what is happening, if there is any error, if there is any lag, if there is a memory issue, CPU issue, anything. So all things comes under this monitoring. So till now, in this like brief, if you have any questions or queries, you can ask. So we will directly jump into the entire like practical thing. We will not bore the theory parts. So do you have any questions for me? So you can ask. Fine. So I'm hoping that no one has having any queries. So I'm just going into my AWS portal, and I believe like most of you people have the AWS with you. And if not, you can also get the trial account for you. And since you know like AWS is the one of the market leader in cloud, so you can start your journey with AWS. So fine, so I will start with EC2. You can search from here as well, the EC2. EC2 is nothing but a virtual machine thing. You can like create a virtual machine. So I will be creating a new virtual machine for you. So I will be creating on the instances. I will be clicking on this launch instance. Here I will put, say suppose Jenkins hyphen demo server. This is the server name I'm putting in. I will be choosing Ubuntu. It's my personal favorite. And I will be choosing a better server. So let's go with this 2-core CPU and the 8 GB RAM. So since I do have some like, okay, let's create a
Adi,
new.
turn off your camera.
Yes, sure.
Adi, turn off your camera. Sorry, sir. You can continue.
So I will be giving here Jenkins key. So I will just use this one. I will use the RSA and the PM key, and let's create key. So it got downloaded for me. Now it's giving me a VPC, and it's saying that there is no subnet or anything. Okay, and it will also like auto assign my public IP, everything. So everything will be created for me. Okay, I will try to check if there is any VPC for me. No, I will also create the VPC from here, and I will just choose the SSH from anywhere, and I will edit the security group later. I will be choosing 30 GB. It's better for me, and I will be click on the launch instance. So if you have any queries till now, I will just repeat what I did. I give a name of the server. I chose Ubuntu. I did not choose anything over from here. Going with the 24/04 LTS version. I choose a better server. You can choose the minimum one. I created a new key pair, which is a PIN key. And this is the default network is going to create by AWS. It's going to give me a IP address of the public IP address. I will be creating a new security group. There I have allowed the SSH from anywhere. Okay. And you can also allow this HTTP traffic if you want. Then I kept 30 GB the storage, and I click on the launch instance. So it might take 1 or 2 minutes to create it. Fine, it's running and it's showing that the initializing. So let's wait for till it gets completely warm up. In the time, what I can do, I can copy the public IP. I use mobile XTerm because it gives me better flexibility. So let me open the mobile XTerm. So I will click on new session, the SSH, the remote host, and Ubuntu has a default host username, that is a Ubuntu. Then under SSH configuration, I will use the private key, that is Jenkins key. Okay, I will click on OK. And here my server is got logged in. Okay. So here it sudo -su -this. Why I did it? Because I want to go into the root. Okay. So that there is no permission, anything comes up in my mind. So there will be no issues. Fine. So whenever you are creating a new server, always update the server. Okay. So app update, app upgrade -y. Why -I? Because I don't want to click on yes and no. Okay. All right. So I will be using some documentation for you all. And if you want, I will share it with you all. Okay. So here we are going to first install the Jenkins with Node.js. So we will use the Node.js installation over here. So for the Jenkins installation, what we need Java, because the Jenkins is completely based on Java. So we need Java. Okay. So I will install the OpenJDK. So let this update. All right. So my Java got installed. Now, if you want to follow this link, so you can. But now I have already copied all those things. So what I will do, I will install the Jenkins LTS, the long-term support Jenkins. Okay. So what it says? Okay, Jenkins is in the caps letter, so hence it is not taking. Yes. So let my Jenkins installed. Okay. Okay, we will be changing that Jenkins to small gen. Okay. And what we are doing now, we are enabling the Jenkins as a startup, and we are starting the Jenkins service if it is not there. Right? So we did it. Now what we can do, we can check the password, right? What is the Jenkins password? So how to check the what is my like public IP if I want to check what is my public IP? Can anyone let me know from your terminal how you can check a public IP if you are in a like Linux server? Does anyone know? All right. If not, so you can type this curl ifconfig.io. So you will get the public IP of your system. You don't need to go anywhere. Fine. So we will open this and okay. So Jenkins runs into 8080 so port number. So it will not open. See, it's not opening. Why? Because we have to open in our security group. So I will go to this networking, this security group on my inbound role, add role. The port range will be 8080 coming from anywhere. Anyone can access it and just save the rules and done. Let's refresh. Here it is. It's showing that the password is stored here, which is the initial password. So we will cat it. So here is my initial password and let's continue. So it's asking me to install the suggested plugin or you want to install some of yours. I will just go with the install the suggested plugin for me. So till the time or anyone have any questions or queries, feel free to ask me. All right, so it's asking for a name, username. So I will put Jenkins -admin, and I'll give me a password. And okay, it's asking me email ID. All right, so let's give this email ID. So here is my Jenkins URL. Start using the Jenkins. So here is your Jenkins. Right? All right. So what we are going to do right now, we are going to set up the Jenkins for Node.js or React pipeline. We have the code here. Okay, this is my React code, and it will like give you a complete what is this, the React thing. So let's try to build it first. So before building the React, we need some like things, but I have already written over here. We need three plugins. First is the GitHub integration, another is a Node.js plugin, another is the publish over SSH plugin. And why we need this, all this, I will come along. So first is the GitHub integration plugin. So let's search it in my Jenkins. Go to this manage Jenkins. Go to this plugins. Go to available plugins and search for it. Here we have this, got it. Select, install. It will automatically install the GitHub integration for you. It's done. Again, go to the available plugin. GitHub integration is why? Because we want to pull the code from GitHub. Hence, we need this GitHub integration. Then the Node.js plugin. So Node.js we will install because we need the npm as my build tool. Hence, we are using the Node.js. So done. Then the publish over SSH. Why? Because we are going to publish the artifact to my EC2 instance. Hence, I would need the SSH because how it's going to authenticate the pipeline over the SSH. Hence, we need this extension. So I will also install this plugin as well. It's done. Perfect. So what we have to do? We have to now manage this Node.js plugin. How? Go to this dashboard again. Go to this manage Jenkins. Go to this system. Sorry, first tools. Let's go with tools first. Come along. There's a Node.js installation. Click on add Node.js. Give a name. Say suppose I'm going to give a Node.js tool. Select the best available Node.js for you. And I'm not touching anything over here. I will just save it. And it's done for me. I will go to the manage Jenkins. I will go to the system. I will scroll down till I find the SSH one. So here we go publish over SSHs. I got it. So here it is asking me so passphrase, path to key, and the key. So I have only the key. Okay, I will put the key. So I will go to my downloads. I will try to open the key. Just I have downloaded it, and I will copy the entire thing. I will paste it here. Fine. I will click on add on the SSH server. I will give this name as EC2. What will be my host name? Host name is my IP address. So here is my IP address. The username will be Ubuntu, and the remote directory we will put in /. Okay, and click on test configuration whether it's working. Now it's saying that it's not working. Why? There is some issue. Let me check what issue is coming up. Everything looks good. Public key. I have given the public key only. Let me save it and I will just try to check it again why it's not happening. Okay, it's not giving allow me to change this. Oh, sorry, I chose the wrong Jenkins PMP, hence it is so this is the actual PMP. Now it should work. Yes, it's giving me success. Unless you get the success, so it's not going to work. So let's save it. So this job is done. These all are done for now. So we have prepared the environment to utilize the Node.js. Fine. Now we will click on new item. We will give a name like Node.js pipeline. We will create a pipeline. We will click on the pipeline. We will click on OK. If you want to give any description, you can go ahead and give the description. If not, I'm not going to give any description for now. If you have your pipeline script ready with you, so you can choose this pipeline script from SCM. If you don't have, so you will choose the pipeline script. If you have, so you have to mention the script path where you have put in it. Okay, so I will choose the pipeline script. So I do have a pipeline script ready for me. So I will open my next document. So this is my pipeline script. And I have put it here. Okay. So let's try to understand what this pipeline script is trying to say. Here we have started the pipeline. Here it is showing the agent Annie. Whatever agent is available to me, so I can execute to any of the agent. So since I do have only one agent and on one server only, so I will utilize this only. Fine. Then it's saying the Node.js home, the tool name. The tool name, what I have to retain, that will be the tool name. Where I have written, if I go to the dashboard, go to this manage Jenkins, I will go to the tools on here. What is my tool name? That is Node.js. And I have put in this here. Fine. I have used a variable. Correct. So what is the variable? This variable is saying where is my Node.js is installed, from where you are going to utilize the Node.js. If you are not mentioning this, you will not be able to use the npm command. Fine. Okay. Now it's showing that I have created a new stage. The stage name is the checkout code, where I will to like git clone. This is my branch. That's the main branch. Here is my main branch. Okay. The URL. This is the git URL for me to go and see. This is the git URL for me. Okay. After it checks out, it will clone the entire thing for you. Then I will click install the npm install. What it will do, it will install all the dependencies, we can say the node modules. It will install all the node modules to run this application. Then what it will do, it will build this. That means it will compile this. Once it is compiled, you will get what? You will get the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript, so that you can run it as a like simple static website. Fine. Once it is done, it will give you some artifact. We can say we will deploy that artifact to EC2 instance. So I have given this name as the EC2. So here they have given me like the SSH publisher and on. The configuration name is the EC2, which I have like given here. Where is the source file? The source file is in my build folder. Okay, so pull everything under the build folder. Where I want to put it, I want to put it in var HTML. So that means to get this, what I need on my server, I need a Apache server. So we will install that. Again, when we are trying to copy that, the build folder will also come. So I will just remove that build. So once it is the build is removed, after the build, these things copied will be pasted over under the HTML folder. Fine. And then remote directories SDF is a structured data folder. So we keep it as false, so that there is since there is no variable defined over here, there is no variable. I want the absolute path to be used, hence I use the false. If I use the true, so it will try to find out if there is any variable defined or not. Then flatten false, because I do not want to change any my directory definition. I want to copy as it is, as my build folder is giving to me. Okay. And then the promotion stamp, timestamp, like if there is anything you want to give, so this, and the purpose is like something, whatever things is happening, it will give you the entire thing. Fine. If the pipeline is success, it will say the deployment is success. If the pipeline is failed, so it will give me the error. Before that, I will install here Apache server for me. So Apache server got installed. So if I copy my IP, and 80 port is already, I believe, open. So see, Apache is working. Fine. When we save, so my pipeline will be got saved. What we have to do right now, we have to click on this build now. So my pipeline got started over here. Click on here, this #1. Click on this console output. Okay. So here it's saying there's an error, no tool name, Node.js count. Okay. Let me check why it is showing. Configure. Node.js. Okay. And what is my tool name then? Node.js. Node.js. Sorry, tool name is Node.js -tool. Sorry. Let's save it. Let's build now. So my number 2 pipeline got started. Let's see. So if you go to this console output now, you will get everything what is happening. So it will give you a better understanding what is happening during your pipeline. So it is a complete CI/CD pipeline which is building the code. See here the npm build is done. So it will give me what is this, the build. Then it has connected to my server. It has go to this folder. It had put the files, and it's giving me error. What error it is showing? The permission denied. Why? Because I have used the that is we say like Ubuntu as my user. So currently what I'm using here, I'm using the root. So root has everything, but Ubuntu doesn't, right? So I have to do what? I have to give a if you go ls-ln var www html. So here you see who is the owner. Root is the owner of this folder. Sorry, for HTML folder, who is the owner is the root. I want to change the owner to Ubuntu so that Ubuntu can do anything. Fine. So I will have the code if it is there with me. Okay. So change own Ubuntu ratio Ubuntu var triple w this. Fine. So let me just check. Okay. So HTML is too different. Yes, now Ubuntu got the permission. Since Ubuntu is the owner now, so it can definitely can perform. Fine. So I will go here again. I will go to this here and build now again. The maximum error you find, the maximum learning you get. That's what I think. Alright. So always try to learn from the error what is coming. So again, it's giving me any error. I believe what is again happening, man. Why is this permission error? Let me give the permission ch mod 777 sorry var hard www. Now it should not have any issue. It's good now. Fine, fine. Let me just check with the ChatGPT and it will give me the error. Get okay. This one is the important thing. CHL-R. All right. Okay. So that hyphen R was the error issue. So it got deployment success. So everything got success. Let me refresh the page. And here you got the QR code generated. So suppose I'm getting google.com. So here you got the QR code for the google.com. This is one of the CI/CD pipeline for you guys. Like there is a complete CI/CD with the continuous deployment. We can say we did it in a what is it like EC2 instance. So in this scenario, if you guys have any questions, so feel free to ask me. I will try to solve you all the doubts if you have.
Sort one question.
Sure.
Since you use React.js and So is it this same library or Node.js, and can we use for .NET Core, or we have to use a different? Is the Jenkins um can Jenkins compile the code for .NET Core also, or we have to use a different tool?
See, for Jenkins, if you see now, if you go to the dashboard and if you go to manage Jenkins, Jenkins is completely depending on the plugins. So if you go to the
Okay,
plugins, so if you say like .NET, try to find .NET. So here you get the .NET MS build. So this will build your solution for this SLN will be your .NET thing. So it will build for you.
okay. It's not like that. It's for Java. Based on plugins, we can do the setting for .NET
Correct.
Core.
Java is basically is for your Jenkins itself. Like to run the Jenkins software, we need the Java. But if you want to build any software like Go, PHP, Python, anything, you just need the plugins.
Okay. Next question is AWS has inbuilt tool, code commit, code build, everything.
Yes.
But you have a user this. So which is a better approach to build or compile or publish the CI/CD?
Better approach is basically I could say like if I use the Jenkins. So Jenkins is a open source, like so anyone can leverage this. Right? And if I go to the AWS, so there is so many tools are there. Like first is the code commit, which will be your GitHub, we can say. Then the code deploy, which will deploy the your code. Then code pipeline, which will automate these things. Then code build, I believe there is name. So these all things will come along. So if I see code pipeline, suppose, so these are the things is on the AWS. Like this will be your GitHub. If you say this is the artifact when you want to like keep your artifacts, whatever we have built, it will build the thing and it will deploy the code to the server. And it will automate entire thing. Whatever we have done over here, it will automate the thing. So it will take a lot many times to like create each and everything. Hence, I chose the Jenkins in a better way because Jenkins is easy to understand. So I thought like Jenkins is better. Although in my current company, I use completely Azure. We are like using the Azure DevOps. So I am completely like good in Azure DevOps. So since it is a AWS class, so I did not choose that one. So instead, I thought I should use the Jenkins. So that's why I chose the Jenkins for you.
Okay, thanks.
My pleasure. All right. So coming back to the next pipeline, since I have deployed this on the EC2 instance, now we will try to like put again to S3 storage so that you can leverage as an artifact repository to that, or you can build a static website hosting from the S3. So let's get started with that again. So I will create a new item, S3 pipeline. I will choose pipeline, which is okay. And here we have a pipe script ready for me. S3. Just allow me 1 second. Okay. So before S3, I need some of the tools. Sorry, the plugins. Let me just check what the plugins are available here. I did installed. Mhm. What is the steps? The steps. So I will choose this plugin to authenticate with my S3. And also let me just check on here on the manager tools. System. All right. So it's got downloaded. Let me copy the entire script. S3 pipeline, configure. Okay. So we will again do the same thing. Like we will build the Node.js. We will clone the repository. We will npm install. We will run the build, and we will use the S3. Here we have defined the S3 as my credentials. So that means I have to use some credentials. So let me just have my credential ready. Sorry. Dashboard, manage Jenkins, on credentials, global, add credentials. You can see AWS credentials. ID is what I put here. I will choose this S3. And it's saying the access key and the access secret key. To do so, I have to go to the AWS. I will choose IAM. I will go to the users. I will create a new user. I will choose this. Attach policies. So I will give full access for the S3. I will choose next. I will create the user. Right? So my S3 user got created. I will click on here. I will put the security credentials. Here you can generate the access key. You will choose that. I'm choosing application running outside AWS. Click on the next. I don't want to give any description, and I got the access key. So this is the access key. I will put access key here, and I will choose the secret on here, and I will create it. So my access key is created with the same name. And let me just check, like I am using the US East one is, and I have to create a S3 for you. So I will go to US East one. I will create a new S3 bucket. Okay. So after like creating this bucket, we will also try to integrate with my domain name so that this will be a live project, you can say. So to do so, like if I'm trying node dot takeok.in. Takeok.in is my own website. Okay. So whenever you want to host any of the website and you want to integrate with live website also, so you have to give the entire name. Okay, like including your like host domain name, and if you want to create in any like what is this the any of your the subdomain, so you can put your subdomain name. So I have put it node as I will choose this ACL disabled. I will uncheck that because I want to have public access. I acknowledge. Get this done. Okay, it's all done. And I will create the bucket. So my bucket is created. This is my bucket. So I will copy the bucket name. I will come here and I will post the bucket name in here. Fine. And what it will do, it will copy the build folder and it will paste on the root directory of the S3. Fine. So this is completely empty for now. So let's run the pipeline. Let's save it. Build now. Giving a okay, what is the okay, sorry, again that just configure system name. I believe just recheck. Yes, just everything looks good. Yes, I hope there will be no errors. Check. So it has given me a finished. That means all the things has been tested over here. So let me refresh. Yes, everything is in here. Fine. I will go to the properties. I will come here and I will enable this static website hosting. And I will static website will be there. So index.html is my file name, which will basically serve everything. And I will click on save changes. So here I got the URL which should display my website. So it's not giving me. Okay, no issue. We have to just give a thing. Just give me a moment. Let's go for this. This bucket policy. We go to here on this node, this permission. And I will put this bucket policy. Okay. And node, but this will be my bucket thing. Save changes. Let me refresh. And it's working. Fine. We'll copy this URL. So it is hosting on AWS S3, correct? So we will now integrate it with my domain. So I will come here to my domain settings. Go to the DNS record. Go to this add record. CNAME would be node. Point to address will be this. And I will click on save. That means now if someone go to the node.takeok.in, so the website should come up. It might take some time and it's working. So this is how the real-time projects work. Like some people deploy on their server, then they deploy it on the like website, and here you go. And this is how the things works on the real-time project, you can say. So if you guys have any questions, queries, anything, so you can ask me. All right. So this is all. And the last thing I will try for you, that CI/CD is basically, it comes with another part, with the integrated part, we can say, that is the testing. Like we use sometimes the SonarQube. Some people may have heard it, right? So we will also try to check the SonarQube as well by integrating the SonarQube. How things works, let's try. So I will choose this NPM pipeline. Sorry, here, go to this dashboard. So we will go to the manage Jenkins again on the plugins, available plugins, SonarQube scanner. So we will install this SonarQube scanner. Let me install. It got installed. Go to this tools. On here you will get SonarQube installation. Add SonarQube installation. So I have my code ready. So I have given this name, SonarQube scanner. Fine. So this is my scanner name, and I want to use this. Okay. And nothing. I don't want to go anything. So I will just click on save. I will go to my system. Now it will ask me the SonarQube installation. Add SonarQube. Here is the name. What will my SonarQube server name? So I will use the SonarQube server, the server URL. So I will install this SonarQube server over here. So for that I will be leveraging the Docker. So it won't take time. So apt install docker.io-. All right. Docker ps-in. Right, perfect. So Docker run -itd SonarQube, and the port, sorry, under the port number 9000, ratio 9000, and SonarQube. Fine. So mean the time it pulls it, I will go to my AWS EC2. I will go to the security groups. The security instances. Yes, yes. I will go to this. I will go to the security group, inbound rule, add inbound rule. 9000 is the SonarQube group. Port number, I will allow it. I will set the done. I will copy this IP. here is my SonarQube ready. The username will be admin default, password will be default. Admin. Okay. So the old password is admin. I'm giving a new password for me and let's update it. So here is my SonarQube server. So here is my SonarQube server details. Okay, I have to add this in first. So I will go to the credential first. Add credential. I will use secret text. Okay, and I will go to here. I will create a local project on the SonarQube. What will be the project display name? You can use the Jenkins. The main branch, you cannot edit this because if you edit, so like it will ask you some money. So click on next, use the global settings, create the project. So project has been created. So I will choose locally. I will use this Jenkins. It will give me a password. So this is what my secret token. I will post it here and the ID. SonarQube secret name, but I have put in a user. So let's put the secret sonar hyphen secret and let's create. Go to this dashboard again. Go to this chase pipeline and jigger. We'll copy the entire thing. And we will just cross check. So the tool name we have given here, the SonarQube hyphen scanner. Tool name is it is so tool name is SonarQube scanner will be there. Yes, SonarQube scanner. Path is this. SonarQube server is this. And everything is there. Fine. So we will change the login key. We have got this key and everything is going to display. Fine. Okay. So let me just save it. Let me test. It's giving me error. Okay. Same issue every time. So running. Server. So please generate much. Okay. So, so Some errors is gonna confusion for Alright, so I'm just leaving for this now because it's giving some error. I don't know why. I need to check the root cause. So for now, I'm just like keeping this aside. I will try to publish this once it is completed for me. I will try to publish it on my LinkedIn. So you can follow me on LinkedIn. So I will post it that. And for now, I'm like good to close over here. And if you guys have any questions, so feel free to ask me.
Sir, do we get the recording of this thing?
I did not record anything on my system.
Okay. I mean the code and all. I mean the notebook.
If you have, yes, see, I will try to upload all the files over here I have put in. Okay. And I will also put that S3 browser that we have just did. What steps I did. I will create a complete documentation. I will try to upload all those things to my GitHub, and I will share that thing to Diana, and I will also try to add it on my LinkedIn as well. So you can go either in my LinkedIn or you can also ask Diana. I will share all the documents with Diana, so I believe she will help you out.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks so much. All right, Diana, so you can like take it over from here then. Are you there, Diana?
Saurav, can you please ping your
Sure.
this thing GitHub link?
Diana is facing a network issue. She'll be joining shortly with us.
All right.
So, yeah.
I have put
Yeah,
my.
I've joined.
Okay.
Go ahead, Diana.
So I am putting my links, all the links available with me. So here my LinkedIn and here is my GitHub. So you can follow all these things. So then you can take it over from here.
Sure, sir, sure. So just give us a minute. Yes, sir. I think we can conclude the session now. I request Vishal Radu to proceed with the vote of thanks.
As we conclude this insightful session, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Sourav Saha for sharing his extensive knowledge and experience in DevOps. His insights into implementing and managing CI/CD pipelines have enriched our understanding and will undoubtedly influence our future projects. A big thank you to the efforts of the Placement Empowerment Program and the Cloud Computing and DevOps Center team for the hard work in facilitating this event. Their commitment to creating a platform for knowledge exchange is commendable and greatly appreciated. Lastly, I thank all the participants for the enthusiastic involvement. We hope you found the session informative and look forward to your continued engagement in future episodes of the Cloud and DevOps Masterclass series. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Sir?
Yes, thanks so much. Thank you all for giving me. Yes.
Before we end the meeting, shall we have a group pic, sir?
Sure.
I request everyone to turn on their video for the group pic.
I hope it is visible from my side.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes, sir.
Guys,
Just a
can you
minute.
make it quick?
Just a minute.
Sure.
Yeah, done with the group pic.
Is the pic over?
Yeah, done.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.